So I am going to show you how I do my makeup. And as you can see, remember how I mentioned that my face is uneven in my most recent video? Well, I had a large maxillofacial tumor in my face here. Grew from my jaw up and back. And so there were a lot of surgeries to fix that. And you know, my face is what it is, but I'm pretty clever at making it look better with makeup because that's what you do. You figure it out. So I'm going to show you how I make myself gorgeous. Let's see how I go without my tunes playing. Normally when I do something like this, I have my music in the background, but see, my options here would be to either infringe because I listen to other people's music, or to prematurely reveal what I have been working on of my own. And it's not time for that. Woo! Time to spin the mirror. Magnification. All right. Cover stick. You're gonna notice I'm not terribly precious about anything because I look at the big picture, not the minute details. And on video, you'd be surprised how much better that tends to go if you've gone with more of a smudged, smoky look than really, really, really clearly defined. Clearly defined is unforgiving. So if you're a little bit older, like me, then you're better off with smoky. Unless you just don't care and you're going for it, and that's cool too. We like that. We like it a lot. Alright. Gorgeous. I have never done my makeup in a corset before. I think I like it. Why not, right? Can't believe I even bought a corset. But you know, when your 10-year-old says, I'd really like to try a corset, Mommy, that's how she calls it, you say, yes, I would like to do that as well. Let's order some. So we did. And they are as cool as we had hoped. So, you digging your way to China? Oh, look at you. He's a good boy. Can you see him? He buries himself in that corner all the time. He's a security guard. I'm far less talkative without music. She's blending. Ruby hates it when you sing that. So I guess you're kind of curious about the face from being repeatedly hurt in the same spot over an extended period of time. I developed a large tumor and it had to be removed. So they went in through my jaw. You see where my tooth is longer, that is an artificial tooth with titanium. That didn't come until 2 years after the initial surgery. Oh, I don't have tissues. I'm gonna get some fancy toilet paper. So, yeah, My face is uneven because the tumor put a lot of pressure and it's been removed, and I have like orthopedic mesh in my face now and all sorts of cool stuff. And I have a bionic face, that's what I think, and bionic foot, and I've got all sorts of cool new parts. That's what happens when things get broken and hurt, is you end up with a lot of new parts and you end up losing a lot of your old parts. And thank goodness at this day and age, medicine is as amazing as it is. Because I don't know where I would be without it. Okay, so I think that's pretty good with the cover stick, except there's something in my eye. So anyone who's trying to figure out a timeline, I'm gonna first tell you that if you think you are the poster child for Murphy's Law, you have not met me yet. So I had finally gotten Murphy and I out of a very scary and dangerous situation. And 1 month and 4 days after I started getting things kind of on track, I thought, or I was doing my absolute best, given the confines of the situation, and I mean, they were extremely limiting. So I went to the dentist one day, and I found out that I had this massive tumor in my face. So just as I was feeling some sense of freedom and emancipation, even though they mean the same thing, they don't. Look that up. I all of a sudden was completely trapped because I had a medical problem that had to be dealt with. Excuse me, I'm back. It was very important business. All right, powder. Oh yeah, I have to check my email. See, I keep trying to order more powder, but then I start doing something else, and I'm doing so many things at once at the moment that my multitasking is really in a delayed state, but that's okay. One day at a time. I prioritize well. I know that I'm putting the right steps first. He's a little too good of a security dog. But again, gotta prioritize. When it does matter, he never lets us down. And we have had one break-in just before we finally got out of Australia. That sent me over the edge. That sent me into a real breakdown. I just couldn't take it anymore. And that was what kind of tipped the scales and said it's time to finally try to get out, like really take that leap. So that was our first break-in that I know of, although there've been a couple times when I've been unsure. And then December 23rd, not the past one, the one before, we had an attempted break-in here at our new place. And that's a very unlucky day for me as it is. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about break-ins now. I was talking about my face. That's how it goes. All right, let's just put a little powder down here. Oh yeah. Why? Why not? Seems like the right thing to do. Matchy matchy, right? Frankie, you're gonna have to accept that there are other humans. No, I don't use liquid foundation very often. I can't stand the feel of it on my face. I can handle this particular powder, this Arbonne mineral powder. It doesn't bother me, but some of them just feel like cake on my face. And normally, I actually don't wear anything. I'm an au naturel kind of girl, so it's not a feeling that I'm accustomed to. I don't like anything that's constricting. Says the girl wearing a glove. I like my glove. All right, this is the magic. So I've got a contour palette. And when you're working on film, you have to exaggerate all of the natural features. Otherwise, everything's just a blur. Film wants detail, and as I mentioned earlier, you know, the finer the detail, the more it's going to pick up. You've got to do it just right. So what I like to do with my contour is I'm actually framing my eyes. My eyes I do after, and I will balance them out with my makeup. As you can see, they're not balanced because of the nerve damage to my right eye. It tends to kind of move up, just as my nose isn't balanced because I have orthopedic mesh under my right side of my nose. Oh, I've got a hairy nose, cool. No wonder I'm not sneezing as much lately. Just gotta remember to pick it. Oh, so gross. What was I saying? Okay, so contouring, already I have to look at my face and balance it. When I'm doing this, I have to imagine that my face is actually a blank canvas. And instead of working with my features, I have to see an invisible face. Basically, like, imagine an overlay, and I'm going to balance my face out using my makeup. You'll see. I mean, would I love to get reconstructive surgery someday to fix half of this stuff that's, I'm like a real piecemeal job. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'd love to get things fixed and rebuilt, but for now, or even forever, I'm okay with this. I'm still able to do the things that I love, and I feel beautiful when I've gone through this process. So what else could I really be seeking? That's the whole point, right? And maybe that's why I'm showing you this. Yep, I'm sitting here in a plastic bustier. Because it's absolutely ridiculous, but until you've done it, you have no idea how great it feels. And I kid you not, you feel like Xena or Wonder Woman or whatever superhero you adore. All of them, I love them all. But it's fun, it makes you feel sexy. You've seen me in my boho clothes, and you've seen me in this stuff. I'm not a slim woman. I am probably a size 14 would be what I would guess, except that I have a long inseam. My inseam is about 35 inches, which means everything is always too short. But not as much these days. They're cluing into that. But getting dressed up is so fun. Getting dressed up and dancing on camera is even more fun. I'm not kidding. It's an absolute blast. You'll see. Would I still be doing this if it wasn't fun? I'm sure most of you have kind of figured out that I don't stick with something if I don't see any point. But this, I am sticking with. I remember the last time I had this much fun, to be honest. So you see, I'm framing my eyes. There is no special technique to my brush motion because I've got terrible arthritis, as I've pointed out before. Those fingers don't do what they're supposed to do. None of them do. So if I'm holding it and not throwing it across the room, I see that as a great success. And so if it works for me, there's no question it can work for you. Unless you don't have any hands, in which case you're probably gonna need a friend to help you out. Yeah, you are. Yeah, I had to sit back and think about that. All right, so I have a long jaw, again, that is uneven because of all the surgeries on the right side. This right side is, in the middle part, it's kind of more lifted because of the orthopedic mesh and all of the scar tissue and everything in there. But then as you kind of move away, things are more drawn down, I guess. It's really odd, but honestly, I'm just so thankful that it's all okay. And you'll see. Now I'm going to build the shadow under my chin. Now as I do this, I'm not looking at my face. I'm seeing a line. I'm seeing a straight line in front of me. And I am building that line across my face. And it doesn't matter what my face is, this is reshaping to even out. And yeah, would I get it fixed? Yeah, it would be nice to look in the mirror and see what I looked like before, except a lot older, but I've taken good care of myself, mostly, except for when I haven't. Human, just like you guys. Don't think for a second that I stopped making mistakes the minute we went into hiding. That is not the case. I've made my fair share of mistakes along the way, but I've learned from all of them. Because I absolutely insist on learning from my mistakes. See any difference? You are, aren't you? And this is just makeup we've ordered from Amazon. Yes, we use Amazon for a lot. That is part of our bigger strategy. Now I'm going to use a slightly lighter tone just to build across my chin right there. Now back down with the darker one. Got a little bit of a dry patch there. I don't think the camera will really pick it up. And if it does, so be it. I'm not perfect, and I never said I was. All right. What's the matter? No. But as long as we do the same thing on both sides, it'll seem okay, right? I need much definition there. Kind of bony. Broad, bony, strong shoulders. Built just like my dad. And John Cleese. If you have jowls, this is the trick. Remember, this is the fun about video. If you decide to film yourself, you can play games with your makeup and stuff so that you look entirely different on film. I mean, doesn't everybody want to do that, to imagine what they look like as their heroes? It's so awesome. Imagination is the best place in the world, you know. All right, blush. Especially mine. Aren't you glad I invited you in? Yes, we are, Carmen. Cookie lady. You want to know a really funny story? So I call myself Cookie Lady But when I was about 16, I guess, and I needed a job, a summer job in my hometown. I actually got hired to be cookie lady at a new grocery store, Your Independent Grocers. And why was I given this job? Well, because my dad was pretty much the most loved person on the planet, and when the owners knew that his daughter needed a job, they invented one for me. And I have to say, I was pretty darn good as cookie lady. I loved that stupid booth and seeing all the kids coming running to me, and all the sneaky Pete's like me who just love a good snack for free. Oh, it's so much fun. Yeah, I've had some interesting jobs that aren't real jobs. Whatever. Made people happy. Sometimes making people happy, making them smile and helping them get through tough times is the greatest job on earth. Maybe that's what I'm really doing here. Maybe that's why I'm making a complete ass of myself. No, I'm not. Not at all. I'm reminding you guys that it's okay to be human, and that a lot of what we think are our flaws, guess what? They're actually our greatest strengths. My childishness is my superpower. My ability to find joy and laugh about the worst things imaginable. I mean, we really do have uncanny bad luck. But whatever, we get through it. I'm not gonna allow myself to believe that I'm just destined to have this cursed life. No friggin' way. I'm having an awesome life, and I'm taking you guys with me. Well, the ones that wanna come. If you don't wanna come, that's okay too. This is one of the hardest things for me with my arthritis, is getting the caps off things. The simplest things are always the trickiest. Like opening a new batch of weed. I love saying controversial things and just knowing that you're all sitting there like, did she say that? How's that gonna go over? I really don't care. It's no different than me mentioning a glass of wine, which is also okay. We all know when we're doing right and when we're doing wrong. We can pretend we don't, but we do. We know. Alright, I'm really like loosey-goosey with my eyeliner because I know that I'm going to smudge it with my eyeshadow. So it's really just a matter of getting it on in the right spot. And I always do my eyeliner before my eyeshadow for precisely that reason. Now, I am not doing a precise look though, I'm doing a smoky look because I feel at my age that the smoky look actually is more flattering. That's just my opinion. And now, of course, I also have uneven eyes. And by doing this smoky look, my right eye, which is a little bit more elevated, I focus below my eyes and I even them out. Just keep watching, you'll see. If you look at your face just as your canvas and stop seeing yourself as you can have a lot more fun because there's nothing personal about this process. I'm just being an artist. You know, some days my canvas is my garden, some days my canvas is something that I'm building. My music, I'm always creating something, but I like to jump from one canvas to the next because it keeps my mind fresh. And it actually, there's this crossover effect that it has where it expands my my thought process, and I love that. I love to build on an idea. And just when it's perfectly weird, I need to make it way weirder. All right, so messy lines, doesn't matter. Now I have green eyes, green hazel. Ruby's are green. She has the most beautiful eyes. So I use plum, and that's how I get that spooky, angelic, freaky look. And I like it. I like to keep people guessing. I like contradiction. I like mixed media and things that don't feel like they should belong together, because who says things don't? I'm rather tired of rules that nobody even knows who wrote. Most of them are stupid, quite frankly. Being autistic, that's something we figure out pretty early, and that's one of our greatest challenges, is that as soon as we know something is idiotic, it's very difficult for us to keep going along with it. We want to fix it, but if everybody else believes that it's okay and we're the only ones who want to fix it, well, instead what happens is we're stuck living with it. You're all miserable, but you're not willing to actually say that you're miserable and that maybe something needs to be done to change it. So notice I'm just filling the whole, I'm not doing anything special here. This is just a dark plum. I'm filling this whole pocket. And yes, I am going low at the outside under corner. That's where I'm evening out my balance. I'm also trying to widen my eyes. I framed inwards. Now I need to shape outwards on the eyes. I am not a makeup artist. I'm just someone who figures it out. There's so many resources. I mean, Ruby started watching these makeup tutorials on YouTube, and she got fascinated because, of course, just like me, she sees it as another form of art, and art that she can do right on her own face. And, well, if you've been watching our videos, you'll know that that kind of unlocked a whole creative side in me. When I saw what she did to my face the first time, she wasn't trying to make me a more beautiful me. She was just making me art. And that's cool. I think for a lot of grown-ups, we remember kind of thinking that way, but we haven't been able to in a long time. So we reject it. Corner. All right, that's the big brush. And then I get my, it comes to a point, but it's short and stubby. I'm gonna go in with some gray, dark charcoal here. I'm gonna really smudge. Here. See, I have my technique sucks, but I know how to get there. And truth be told, it's rare that your technique matters. Very rare. Unless it's something where you can injure yourself if you don't use the right technique. Pretty sure, other than poking myself in the eye a few times and sticking things up my nose, I'm safe. Plum, the deep plum again. Imprecise, but because I'm smudging, everything falls where it needs to. All right, happy with that. Yes, I always have tissue. I gently, side to side, clean my brushes. We'll wash them at the end of the week, but no, that's good. Now I'm going in with the, actually I better get the dark off of that. Like a paler tone. I'm building this up because I get more drama if I build up that brow bone. Yes, I get eyeshadow on my nose all the time, and it's okay. All right, that was the pinky. I'm gonna go a little silver. Just doing a bit of a metallic. Even though video doesn't really pick up metallic, it kind of goes more dirty. Every time I do this, when I'm editing, I make sure to take some snapshots of different angles, different lighting, everything else, so that I'm learning each time. Now, I will admit, yes, there are a lot of mistakes in our early videos, but some of those I've made intentionally because the best way to show people what not to do is to show them what not to do. Like the flashing lights, because LEDs create a flicker on video, things like that. I decided to go through all of the what not to do advice, do it all, because that's the kind of person I am. All right, I'll do my mascara last. I think I'm happy with that. Now, I'm about to do my eyebrows. This was more fun to do when I was infringing on my favorite copyrights. It's just the truth. I love my tunes. Music is survival for me. When Ruby was at school in Australia and I would have to go and pick her up from the classroom every day, my tunes, I always had my headset on, and that was how I managed. It was a huge school, a beautiful new school actually, Highland Reserve State School. But for people like us, first of all, we're autistic, so working our way through a crowd is a stressful event no matter what. But doing that when you're living in hiding is extremely stressful, as every unexpected movement is a trigger. So I would put my Walkman on when I had to go to pick her up. But then we also in the mornings got into the habit of listening to tunes together. Or on days when we would walk to school, we would actually sing on our way there. But if we took the car, there was the whole build-up in the car before we got out, and it helped, really, really helped. Music is the best therapy on earth. And dancing. To me, music and dancing go hand in hand. I choose songs based on the way they make my body move. Because for me, if a song goes where my body instinctively goes, then we gel. Me and that song, we're besties. It's true. Have you ever done that? You dance along to a song that you've never heard before, but you realize partway through that, wow, that song is going where I would take it. Now that song just got better because it did that. So when you dance to music, you connect with it, or you don't. You can think you love a song and then you try to move your body to it and you realize there's just something wrong with that damn song. It's not you, it's not your body, it's the song. I'm teaching all sorts of nonsense here now. Good fun. Eyebrows. Almost. Yes, they are very bold. But again, trial and error. The eyebrows need to be bold to draw the eye of the viewer to my eyes. They're the hats on my eyes. I love a good hat. Hats are the best. All right, brush again. So, as you can see, I wasn't overly preoccupied with the eyebrows being perfect because I go in with the slightly lighter shade of brown and I build my eye socket down and shape my nose. And that's all it is a few gentle brush strokes from the corner, the inner corner of the eyebrow that you've done, down. So if that corner that you built is not perfect, it really doesn't matter because you can smudge it. See, my makeup is all like smoky smudgy, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is so boring. Because anything where there's nowhere to build or grow or improve upon is boring. Everything I do is about building upon the last thing I did. And it's fun, it's exciting, it keeps you waking up in the morning looking forward to the next step. It keeps you going to sleep at night with positive thoughts because there are endorphins related to creating, to making, to advancing with something. Never underestimate the power of just creating, and it doesn't matter what you're creating, even if it's a bloody puzzle that you're working on and you're going back to. I mean, that's a rather primitive analogy, but seriously, it's the same concept. Okay, now here I see as I'm looking that under my right eye is still a little bit high on my face. So before I go ahead with my curling and my mascara, I'm just going to, where's my brush with girth? Hey, girth brush, where'd you go? Girth brush. Think what you may, and you may be right. I'm not telling. That's better. Why did I put some on the other eye as well? Because tonally I want them the same. It's just shape. I needed to come a little bit lower on the right, and I did. So I believe my balance will be a little bit better. We'll see. Jaws of life. Ruby can't watch me do this, it's so funny. She thinks it's just the most disgusting thing on earth. Lucky she has thick, black, long, curly eyelashes. She's got the most beautiful eyes, that kid. Me, I have to work at it because I have blonde, fine eyelashes and facial damage from, well, not just a tumor, from all sorts of other things, which, yes, are connected to that tumor. Doesn't matter, doesn't stop me. You all seem to like how I look when I get it done. Unless you're lying, in which case, keep it up, I love it. Feeling beautiful is a wonderful thing. Oh, by the way, this is my hair. The wig goes on last. It's grown a lot. I gave myself a brush cut just a few months ago. My hair grows like a weed. That's why I don't worry about things like taking the clippers to it. Whatever, if I don't like it, it won't last anyway. So I'll have some fun with it. Plus, I've got one awesome assortment of wigs. Now, I think, no, this is always the hardest part for me because without the mascara, I can't really see my eyelashes, but I think I got them one more time just because it's fun to do this. No, it's not, it's gross. Okay, mascara. This is also very difficult for me to do. I don't hold it the way I would like to have perfect control. So I've been known to toss this across the room too. I get better every time I do it though. And I learn little tricks to, like doing the eyeliner, just quick and easy, and then smudging with the eyeshadow. That saved me like at least 10 minutes every time, at least. Because of course I don't have even eyes, so mucking about trying to even them out in fine detail is just, well, it's rather a waste of energy as it turns out. All about finding the best solution until you find another better one. And then when you find that, that's the one you use. This is why I tend not to be in agreement with the concept of just always replacing, you know, throw away this and replace it with that. Well, that's not conceptually the world that I want to live in. I like betterment, I like improvement, I like advancement. And it doesn't feel to me like advancement when one thing has to replace another. That feels disposable to me. So on a primal level, that concept I feel is very disappointing. I know that sometimes the only way forward is to replace, but not at the rate that we seem to do it these days. And I'm not just talking about things, people do it to people. Cancel culture is the most disgusting thing I think I've ever lived through. I cannot believe that intelligent human beings think they have the right to do that to one another. Being someone who literally others have tried to physically cancel me on multiple occasions. What you're doing is the same, and it's wrong, and it's malicious. That is where the biggest problem lies. You know, because you're humans, that these things will hurt another human, but you do it anyway. That's malice. So stop it. I don't care if you did it this morning. Now that I've said this, don't do it again this afternoon. That's done now. That was a fun lecture. I'm a good mama. I wonder if anybody's actually figured out what I created yet. I love a good mystery. And I love making people wait. Sometimes that's the only way. Patience is the most important survival skill because timeliness is essential, and you cannot have timeliness unless you have patience. It's an impossibility. You want to be able to survive anything, and you want to not just be able to survive but come out ahead. You've got to be able to always think long term. You can no longer just make short-term decisions, because like right now, in our current state of the world, short-term decisions are based in a short-term situation. This is not the circumstance that we intend to be in permanently. So all the short-term decisions that are made right now should be considered outliers, however you want to pronounce it. They are exceptions to the rule, because this is a time of crisis. So there should be no short-term decisions that are made that are not essential. It all fits into the same deal. People should be thinking, okay, what would I need to know and understand if worse came to worse and I couldn't get back to work in time to catch up on this debt that's building, and so on and so forth. We all need to think differently, which is what I'm trying in my weird way to show you. I am a show me, don't tell me kind of gal, because I'm also someone who needs to find out for myself. I will not take someone's word at it, even if you are the foremost expert in a field. If it's something that conceptually is obscure or just illogical to me, I have to find out for myself. I can't. See, I had to put the poop in the bucket with the algae, because I had to find out for myself. More on that. Springtime is gonna be so fun here. So this project is, well, I mean, other than being totally rocking and amazing. Last night, I was exhausted and I fell asleep. Oh, I don't know what time it was, but I fell asleep. The fact that I fell asleep means I was exhausted. And Ruby got back up and was up all night. And this happens. We know we both have very odd schedules, and we try to just make it work. We work on an international clock and we make it work for ourselves. But we went completely out of sync last night. And see, we had all these plans to work today. We knew exactly what we were filming and what we were doing today, but she didn't get any sleep. So this morning I got mad at her, and she got mad at me because I never get mad at her. It's like, what? Mad at me? You don't do that. But I said, look, I am not working with you if you haven't slept, and I wanted to work with you today. And lo and behold, my 10-year-old, well, after she stormed around for about a minute and a half, she said, I'm going to get some sleep. Went to bed, went to sleep. And when she wakes up, we will work. But she's so excited and keen on every next step in our project that she is behaving in a very adult manner because it matters to her. And she's doing something real. Oh, she's also started a cult on the internet, but I mean, that's a whole other story. I love my kid. She is so funny. Turns out she's quite the crusader for social justice. Funny how that is. Built in. change who we are. Some things. All right, now I'm happy with that, but I see that I forgot to do one thing, which is my white liner to define just ever so slightly under my eyes, because it helps with the spook effect. There. Glove away. Fix it. Okay, now. So, there's lips left to do. This is the trickiest part for me. I don't have those, some people's lips are very, very clearly defined. Now, I know that I've got lovely, I'm very fortunate that I have lovely full lips, but they're very tricky to line because they have more of a blurry outline to them. I don't even choose a color, I just grab, I'm like, yeah, that'll do. So we're going red. So have you ever thought about if you could have your dream job interview, who you'd like to interview for? Because here's a little secret. A lot of them are on my Facebook page. They just don't look the way you think they should. You didn't think any of this was going to be expected, did you? Oh no. I'm reframing. This takes work. Okay. Red line. Not sure where the lid for this is. It's in there somewhere. And let's see. And I'll use the same strategy and find a. I'll grab whichever one I find. I just chose any random color. Truth be told, the funnest things happen when you just go with it. Too much planning can really ruin the adventure. Because what happens is the planning becomes the adventure. Now, I do recommend that right now, if you're thinking of traveling, why don't you just travel in your head? I've been doing it for years and it's amazing. Research places. And at the end, you can choose based on your research where you really want to go. Again, we all get into these patterns. There's this gorgeous world out there. Trust me. One of the best parts of my life has been traveling. Not just because of the beautiful scenery, but because of the beautiful people. When you go somewhere and the locals welcome you in and want to share their culture with you, it is the most incredible feeling in the world. Don't discount that. And if you're always just going to these touristy spots, you don't get to have that experience. So you don't come back with this, yes, you come back rested because you've had a holiday, but you don't come back feeling enriched and energized the same way you do when you get to go and learn new things and be a part of something that you never expected to be. Some unexpected things are just glorious. There we go. Lipstick turned out not bad. So, my face is done. I'm gonna spin back to a regular mirror. I am happy with that. I need to do my wig now. We'll see. This is awesome. So you saw how long that took to do my makeup, and I don't know what people spend doing their makeup just to go to work, but because I skipped the whole hair step, it's really not that big a deal. And I'm rocking and rolling before you know it. Plus, the versatility is so fun. It's fun to be a character of yourself. Yes, caricature is probably more accurate, but just a really dramatic version of how you feel. It's such a wonderful thing to do. What do you think?